feel like I always start my videos out with me bitching. But I'm gonna stay true to who I am. I'm so annoyed because it was so sunny pretty much all day. It was the first sunny day we've had in so long. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna record my update because I haven't done an update in a few weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks. And then my camera was dead, so I had to charge the camera, and then now that I'm doing it, it is pouring. It is raining so hard outside. The sun is gone. It is, oh, that's gonna bother me so much, the change of lighting. Let's just get through this. What's up, you guys? It's Dakota, if you're back. If you're new here, hi, welcome to my channel. I'm 27 weeks and 4 days pregnant today, and I figured I would do an update. I have week 25, 26, and part of week 27 update written down because my memory has been terrible. My pregnancy brain has been on a whole new level lately. So if I'm looking at my phone, I am sorry, but I might as well make sure we get everything out there so I don't forget anything. So week 25, it wasn't terrible. I haven't had a terrible, like a solid terrible week in quite a while, which is great, but I'm still going like this with phases of nausea, morning sickness, food aversions. Like, I haven't had one good week yet. So I hope that we get to that point. Knock on wood, I'll have one good week out of this pregnancy that doesn't involve, I mean, I'm having great weeks. I'm talking about, I hope I have 1 week of no aversions, no morning sickness, no nausea, no insomnia, but I doubt that will ever happen, let's be real. But I could dream, right? So I've had some pretty bad food aversions this whole time. I do get like a craving here and there. So like week 25, my cravings were like candy, jelly beans, gummy bears. I specifically was craving See's candy lollipops, and I guess people from around the world don't really know, even America apparently, don't know what See's candy lollipops are. I thought See's Candies was a big corporation or a business, but apparently not. So I was craving that, if you know what that is. I was specifically craving the cafe latte flavor. I hate coffee. I'm not a coffee fan. So this child craving the taste of coffee is like clearly indicating that it's Kyle's. That's for dang sure. I was also, let's see, eating peaches, like not an actual peach, but like cups of fruit cups, peaches. I don't know why. I was eating like 2 to 3 cups a day. And also having other fruit, but like for some reason, the baby just really loves peaches. Like anytime I ate peaches, they would start to dance around. And then like peaches in my yogurt, anything peach flavored, I was all about it. Another big thing that was going on at week 25 was I wasn't having hiccups, my baby was having hiccups. And like, it was like almost every day that they were getting the hiccups. And I wouldn't say it was like painful. It almost just felt like twitching every second, like tick, tick, tick. So that was cool. I was wondering if it was hurting them after a while, because they had the hiccups for like a solid 5 minutes for one point, and I can only imagine how tiring that would be. I'm just getting tired thinking about it. Let's see, week 26, I did my glucose test. I've actually heard that was pretty early to do the glucose test. But I was planning on flying out to Washington before the whole pandemic started. So I booked my glucose test early and then ended up not going to Seattle. So I didn't want to reschedule. It didn't matter, like the doctor said it was fine. So instead of drinking the glucose drink that I was like really not looking forward to, like this whole time during pregnancy, pre-pregnancy, I've seen this picture of this drink, and I'm not a soda fan, I'm not a juice fan. Like water is all I ever want. I'll get like the vitamin water if I want some like flavor. Gatorade, specific Gatorades, honestly, I don't really like all the Gatorades there are to begin with. So I was dreading the drink, and so I called ahead of time. My eye's been twitching since Saturday. It is Wednesday. Do you know how annoying that is? And I'm hydrated. I am so hydrated. So I don't know if it's like stress related, but if you know any remedies to twitching eyes, that'd be great. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I don't even know what I was saying at this point. Pregnancy brain. Oh, the glucose test. So I called ahead of time and I was like, hey, do you guys have any alternatives that I can do? And basically they were just like, yeah, if you don't want to drink the drink, which we recommend you doing, which I feel like, why would you recommend that? I'm not too sure. Maybe it's just because it's what they're used to testing their patients on. But they're like, yeah, just bring in anything that's 50 grams worth of sugar. And so I brought 50 jelly beans in, and I didn't have a problem, like, how do I say it? Like, it didn't make me feel jittery or sick to my stomach. Like, I was chilling. The only thing is I didn't realize how tired my jaw was gonna get from chewing 50 jelly beans in 5 minutes. I should have just swallowed them whole like they were pills, because I could take a lot of pills at once. So I don't know. After the fact that I was chewing them, I was like, really should have just swallowed them. Like, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, and it definitely wouldn't have made any difference in the results. But my jaw was tired. That was the only thing that was tired, or like that was the only thing that was affected by the glucose test. And then while I was waiting for the hour to pass, I had just like a checkup. I didn't see my actual doctor. I just saw like a random nurse whom rubbed me the wrong way. I'll get to that in a second. But I filled out my pre-admissions form for the hospital, and hopefully this pandemic passes by the time I give birth, which hopefully will be mid-June, and the baby doesn't come any earlier, because right now it's a little scary around the world right now. Giving birth is just like, I'd rather just give birth in my own home at this point, but I can't afford to bring a midwife to my house. Oh, I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. I'm getting all red. But we signed I signed the pre-admissions form to the specific hospital that I'll be giving birth at, and I signed up to get my breast pump. I'm not 100% sure which one I want to get. I am choosing between the Medela and the Spectra. I want to say Spectrum, but I know that's my internet. I think it's the Spectra, and then the Medela Symphony specifically, I think is which one I was looking at. I'm not sure. If you guys have any recommendations, let me know and I'll look into them, because I've obviously never pumped breast milk from my tatas before. I don't know what the best option is. Sorry, didn't mean to move you. But yeah, I filled that out. And then this dang nurse, I've never seen her in my life before, right? I don't know where it came from. So my pre-pregnancy weight, oh, I hate talking about weight. It was like, oh my gosh, it is really raining. My pre-pregnancy weight was about like 155, I want to say, because, and I'm not talking about like my pre-IVF weight, because my pre-IVF weight was 10 pounds lighter. Like the drugs that I was given for IVF made me gain 10 pounds. So my pre-pregnancy weight with the IVF meds was like 155. And then while I was pregnant, I lost all of that weight and I got back to my pre-IVF pregnancy weight, I guess you would say. I got back down to 140. I was actually down to 130. I want to say 6 was my lowest while I've been pregnant. I keep getting distracted by the rain, sorry. But like, anyways, I'm still technically below my pre-pregnancy weight. Like, I weighed in at 153 at that appointment. Wow, I'm feeling bold apparently with all these numbers. She was like, oh, don't worry about your weight gain. Out of nowhere, like she said, hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. Let me take a look at your chart. Takes a look, and the first thing that came out of her mouth was, don't worry about your weight gain. Like, I don't know if that's like the automatic thing she's used to saying to pregnant women, but I was just like, I'm not. Like, I'm really not worried about my weight gain, considering I've barely gained any weight to begin with. And then she had the like audacity to say, you can still gain about 8 more pounds. This was at my 26-week appointment, so in 14 weeks, give or take a few weeks, I'm only allotted 8 pounds to gain. Something was not adding up. Like, how does that make any sense? If I were only allowed to gain 8 more pounds, that means like I would have only been allotted 20 pounds for my IVF meds, like 20 pounds. Like, that just doesn't seem right to me. I don't know, like, I'm so used to seeing women saying that they gain 30 pounds, 40 pounds, the occasional 60 pounds, and I was so prepared for that. Like, I told Kyle, I was like, I'm waiting for the day that I tip the scale over 200 pounds. Like, I was fully prepared for that. And so when this woman's telling me I'm only allowed to gain, or not only allowed, but like telling me that's probably like the smartest recommendation is 8 pounds, I was just like, okay. I took that with like I took the number with a grain of salt, but what she said out of nowhere, just like, it kind of made me upset, because this whole time during pregnancy, I haven't been worried about my weight. I mean, I've been worried about my bump size because I wish it was bigger, but I haven't been worried about the scale per se. Like, I've seen it go up and up and up gradually, like half a pound a week, but I mean, at least it's going up. And then all of a sudden, and mind you, I'm comfortable with this idea, and then all of a sudden, now that I'm only allowed 8 more pounds, like, that number is just sitting in my head. Every time I look at the scale, I'm just like, oh, I'm only allowed 7 more pounds now because I gained a pound in a week. Like, I wish she didn't say anything. I already have issues with my body. Like, I wish weight wasn't a priority, or like even a topic of discussion, unless I brought it up. If I was worried about my weight, I think I would have said something. I don't feel like that was right of her to do. I don't know if anybody else has had a doctor tell them that they're only allotted 8 more pounds, 8 to 10 I should say, but like, come on, that just doesn't seem right. Anyways, moving on. My cravings for last week were peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, fruit cups. Ever since I had the glucose test with those jelly beans, I do not want jelly beans. Like, I have a huge bag of them sitting in my pantry, but I do not want them anymore. And then Gatorade. I drank like a Gatorade a day, and I know that's not great for you. It's not horrible. Like, I could be drinking soda or alcohol, but like, I don't know. I told myself to like chill out on the Gatorade. I know it's high in sugar and sodium, so I stopped. And then this past week, starting on about Friday, I would say, so like my pregnancy weeks. I don't know if that makes sense. I hit my pregnancy week marker on a Saturday. So Saturday I was 27 weeks. On Friday, I started to feel, this is TMI, so if you want to click off, I click off, but I started to feel really dry down there. I don't know if it was like a UTI. I felt dry, but I was the complete opposite. Like, it was not cute down there. It was almost like a yeast infection. I don't know. There was no smell though. There was no discoloration. It was just a lot of discharge and discomfort. And I posted about that on my Instagram because I don't hide anything. And someone actually messaged me and was like, oh, you might be low in progesterone. So that kind of worried me, but I hydrated like a lot extra hydrated myself this weekend, especially because it's been raining. I have nothing else to do. I might as well drink all the water and pee all day, like might as well. But I've been feeling a lot better, so I don't really feel the need to call the doctor, especially during this crazy time. I repeat, it is a crazy time. I'm losing my mind, but I just didn't feel like it was that a necessity to call the doctors. And I don't know, if I figured if things got worse from after she told me that, I would definitely call, but since she said that, it's pretty much gone away. And I've also been taking baths every day just to get some type of warmth because it's been so cold and rainy. So like, of course, I'm sure being in the bath is not good. And then this week I haven't been craving anything. My stomach does not feel good. I've been feeling so nauseous and just exhausted. I sleep maybe an hour a night. Last night I got 45 minutes of sleep. The night before I got an hour. The night before I got 45 minutes of sleep. So I'm just so tired and nauseous, and I've got no cravings. Poor Kyle has been having to eat like cereal for dinner because I just don't feel like cooking dinner anymore. Like I was having a good week or two, like week 25 and 26 I was cooking dinners, but I'm not having it this week. But if you couldn't tell, I needed someone to talk to, so I'm so sorry for this long video, but I mean, I'm sure everybody else is quarantined and has got nothing else to do, so you might as well watch this. I'll do a bump date. It's been getting harder for me to move, which is so funny to me because I feel like my bump is still so small, so I can only imagine how hard it will be to actually move once I have a bigger bump. It's really hard for me to like bend down and grab things off the floor now, but oh my gosh, you can't even I don't even have a bump, do I? There we go. So I'll just move this. I put my pregnancy thing on. It says baby on board. But I feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like, I feel like these are still my abs almost, but they're definitely not. I feel like my back is starting to arch. I don't know if that's normal, but I feel like that. And then I don't know if, no, you can't tell, but I have like a V still, but it's not like an ab cut V. It's like a baby bump V, which is hilarious to me. And then another big thing is, I'm not getting up close, but my boobs, I'm starting to get really large veins, like they're bulging as if I just did a workout, but I don't feel like, I'm just gonna grope myself, I don't feel like they're full. I don't feel like I'm gonna have milk, like I don't feel like there's milk in there yet. I definitely haven't leaked at all. Like I've seen some women who have been leaking for a few weeks already. The biggest change of my body this past week, my feet are starting to swell so much that my skin is started to stretch and peel, and it's kind of gross how much my feet are peeling because of how swollen they've gotten this past week. So I've been trying to what's it called, raise them, elevate them as much as possible when I'm not working or doing stuff on my feet. But yeah, I'm gonna go now and upload this because I got nothing else to do. If you've stayed till the end, I'm shooketh. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao for now.